So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by Australian band The Eternal, and it's called Skinwalker. And for those of you that do not know this band, they've been around now for a while now, and this album has some new members. So, two members from the band are in Melbourne, Australia, and the other two members are there's like a bassist that was in Amorphis and their current drummer. So it's an international band, if you will. You know, you have Finland meets Australia, and the sound of The Eternal, they have progressive elements to them. They have doom elements, and they also have like melancholic goth sounds to the band, and they mix that all together with the sound of The Eternal. So this is a band that is very interesting, and I think their sound, especially the vocals for Mark Kelson, are vocals that are very much rooted in like clean vocals. He doesn't do growls, so on this album he has guest stars that bring in that growling and other effects to the songs, but his voice is more in that gothic, progressive. Think of bands of like Anathema, and you will get like almost the sound of the way that the Mark sings. He also does guitars for the band. The album is 9 songs, and it's an album that can be divided. They have longer songs and songs that are like in the 5 to 6 minute mark. So they have 3 singles out already. They have Where the Fire Dies, Skinwalker, and Deathlike Silence. So Deathlike Silence is more of a faster paced song, some great guitars on it, and it's a song about when a relationship is about to end. There's a lot of like silence and you don't talk to the other person. So that's another highlight of the album for me, the lyrics. So that song, it's a great introduction. It was the first single release and a great introduction into the new lineup of the band. It's very melodic, and I think this is something that the band is doing now better because of the inclusion of members from Amorphis, which bring the flavor of how they play to this band. So yeah, Deathlike Silence, great single, and it's not that long, and it really has all the elements that this band does in this album. There's the clean vocals, there's the melancholy, but there's also that great, like more like progressive type of playing in this track. Skinwalker is more aggressive in nature, and on that one, they're talking about the people that you meet that first they appear to be they appear to be nice, but then they shed the skin and they show you their true self. So very interesting concept again. But the third single, Where the Fire Dies, is the most commercial track on this record. This is the most gothier track also. On this one, Mark has, there's a female who also does vocals with him, and they really do a back and forth really well. So When the Fire Dies is all about when the relationship has ended, and but there's still like ashes remain. So there's a little bit of cheesiness to that song, but it's just the right amount of cheese. On that track, I don't know why, it reminded me of more of like a band like him, especially with the hookiness and the commercial appeal to that track. And yes, I think that's the most commercial track that they have on this album. And it's a track that maybe can bring in people that are not that into metal because it's more accessible and it's easy to relate to, and the lyrics are pretty straightforward. There's no analogy. It's pretty straightforward stuff, but it's a great track that stays in your mind. So nonetheless, you don't sleep on a track like that. So the album then has the longer tracks because they have a few longer tracks like Abandoned by Hope. They have a song like The Iconoclast, and they also have Falling Upon the Earth and Shattered Remains, which are more like closer like to 9 minutes, especially the album opener. Abandoned by Hope That one is a very epic song, and it has guest vocals from Tommy Judson from Amorphis, and he brings those growls into this track, and it really makes the track like stand out because you have Mark with the clean singing and Judson doing his thing, and it really gives the song different dimensions. You know, it's a song that at 10 minutes goes by quickly because sometimes longer tracks can get tedious and boring, but not this one, you know, and it goes through peaks and valleys. You know, it starts slower, more melancholic, but then it picks more, especially when Tommy's singing, more like a death metal type of song, but with the eternal like progressive side to things, which Amorphis does as well. Under the Black is a very cool track, the third track, and that has like some organs into the mix, which I think really sound well. They reminded me a little bit of Amorphis at times in that song. But yeah, I think the album closer, again, another epic track. And what they do on these long epic tracks is that they have some clean guitar solos, like very beautiful solos. Not like shredding type of solos, but very melancholic and clean sounding. Like there's a solo on Abandoned by Hope that almost reminded me of like a Pink Floyd type of solo. Very hypnotic, very clean sounding, and I really enjoyed that. So I think that Skinwalker is a great album. It may be long at times, and maybe there's some parts of the album that I kind of like weighed my attention, but nonetheless, it is a very solid release. I think if you like doom metal, progressive, melancholic gothic music, you will enjoy this band. And also, if you want to know more about this record, I actually interviewed Mark Kelson on the channel, and we really go deep into the lyrics and to everything that is this album, because it's not per se a concept record, but there are a lot of like running themes throughout the record. So that's a very interesting shot. So if you haven't seen that one, I'll put it so you can go ahead and check out that interview. And this album is coming out this Friday, the 28th. So do not sleep on this record because it's a great record. So when it comes out on the 28th, Couchers, listen to it. Let me know which are your favorite tracks. Right now, you know, there's 3 singles that you can listen to: When the Fire Dies, Skinwalker, and Deathlike Silence. So you can comment on those. But after this comes out, let me know what did you think of the album and what are your favorite tracks. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to subscribe and do not forget to give me a like. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourselves. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.